Hey everyone, Alvaro Cortez Jr. Lance Danger here. This is day 3 of VEDA Video Everyday August, and I just wanted to make a quick video talking about what I consider, what probably a lot of people also consider to be the end of an era here. Feminist Frequency a few days ago announced that they're shutting down, and one of the reasons I wanted to talk briefly about this is because I actually saw a lot of the feminist frequency videos in the very beginnings, like when it first had come out. I was, of course, deep into searching for new content on YouTube, and I happened to land upon Anita Sarkeesian's feminist derived videos on video games and such, and I always found them interesting. I may not have agreed all the time with them, but I did understand a lot of the points that came through in the videos. And regardless of whether you agreed or not with the content, the production value of the videos, especially early on, was fantastic. Like there was a lot that you could learn from video making, kind of like reverse engineering what Sarkeesian would do with her videos. And it's funny enough, a lot of my friends actually discovered Anita Sarkeesian through my personal Facebook because way back then, when she would be releasing those early videos, I would actually share them on my Facebook feed, and I would either be like praising it or um, presenting my own opinion, like counterpoints of what she had said in some of the videos, which was always good for conversation. Because the good thing is that, at least in my Facebook, the conversation was a pretty good, deep conversation. It never got into like a personal argument or anything like that. Like it was quite the contrary. I actually learned quite a bit of the point of views from these videos from friends on my Facebook when they would present their opinions on it. And in turn, they would also learn where I would be coming from when I would present some counter arguments to some of Sarkeesian's points as well. And I think it was a good, healthy conversation. And I've always been one that loves to have like deep conversations, and you have to be careful with who you have those conversations with sometimes, because a lot of times people are just after their own confirmation bias, or they're going to come with their own very entrenched way of thinking, and it doesn't open itself to have dialogue in that sense. It becomes more of listening to a monologue than actually having a conversation. But thankfully, the times that I did share um, the tropes versus women, or tropes versus women in video games, most of the times it led to great conversations with my friends and peers talking about all of this content. And well, even before Tropes versus Women, because Tropes versus Women was pretty much the series that came after she had gotten more famous with the other previous videos on the YouTube channel. And it feels like an end of an era. If you were around for that time, for all that mess with Gamergate and whatnot, um, regardless of which side you were on that front, it feels like there's like a finality to this whole thing. Uh, well, at least to that kind of generation, like I was never really into the whole um, culture war Gamergate thing. I always thought it was kind of silly to an extent, because both sides kind of took things to like an extreme level sometimes, and it's like I try to understand many of the sides. I've had friends that were very Gamergate and friends that were very anti Gamergate, and at least the ones that I knew personally, they were kind of like the more level headed people, which again, you could actually have a conversation with. Uh, but it was crazy times back then, and there was definitely like people entrenched in their views in both sides, and it gets tiresome after a while because I personally um, don't have like a huge, even especially back then, I didn't have like a huge amount of time to just surf the internet or whatever. So I had a very limited time to go into the internet, and I didn't want to waste it on drama. I would just like listen to both sides, look at what the issue was, and then come to my own determinations, my own thoughts and whatnot, and just like kept moving on because I'm not going to dwell on the drama. Like, even during that time, I was accused by non-gamergate people that I was gamergate, a misogynist, and by gamergate people, I will be called an SJW. So I don't know. I was just a normie, I guess. In any case, a normie kind of looking down on both sides to an extent. I don't know. I just thought it was kind of interesting to see that Feminist Frequency is closing down. Even if you don't 100% agree with websites like this one, it is kind of important for them to have their space and have their voice as well, because again, it creates that balance, and in my opinion anyway, it creates that balance, and it invites for deeper conversations on different topics as well, and not just live in just one bubble of one thing or the other. And I think it's always important to keep an open mind to the fact that you might not be right about one thing or the other, and to have like that room to keep growing as a person and as a creator, if you're into video game designing, video game creating and whatnot. And not just video games, comic books, movies, whatever, yes, you do you, as long as you're not hurting anyone, and at the same time keep that open mind to receive that feedback. And again, it's all about conversation, because if you don't have that conversation, how are you going to know how people are feeling, and how are people going to know how you are feeling yourself? So um I guess all I have to say is, raise a glass to Feminist Frequency. See you on the other side. And hopefully, there'll be more space for conversations down the road with whatever next big internet creative drama will come up. Thank you all for watching. And I'll catch you guys tomorrow with another video of Video Everyday August.